roam the still, cold world. No horizon in sight. The rulers of old, stripped with pride and glory. It feels as yesterday we were turning the wheels of progress. Until the frost stopped it all. Suddenly, without a warning. When tides had changed, they changed for all of us, no matter wealth or class. We've lost our world to snow. And with it, our last traces of humanity. We bid farewell to plenty, and for those who remained, came the time to adapt. We decided to leave our homes and head north. We roamed for weeks, maybe months, leaving behind all the things we once believed had made us. It was hope that pushed us forward. Slowly, step by step. We knew the cost of our journey, and we paid the price 100 times. Finally, the time has come to build the last city on Earth.
Good morning, Spash Base. This is Grand Puubah Spash, the Grand Puubah of your heart. Today we're going to be playing Frostpunk, one of my favorite games right now. I've put in close to 100 hours by the time I'm recording this over the course of several months since I got it. And I wanted to share it with you all, because the story, the world, the gameplay, it's all fantastically well done. So we're going to play together. We're going to do the default scenario, which is called A New Home. So without further ado, let's begin. We fled London and crossed the sea to reach the frozen north. On the way, our convoy was hit by a blizzard and scattered. A handful of us managed to reach the site of this generator, only to find it frozen, solid and abandoned. Why is no one here? Did any of our people survive the blizzard? Are there any others out there? Whatever we do, we should expect the worst now that the world as we know it has crumbled. We have to survive. First things first, gotta fight the cold. That's our number one enemy in this game. Our number one priority is to keep everyone warm and alive. Fight the cold. We need to get the generator working. It provides heat and power to other buildings. Without it, we will freeze to death. Stock some coal and start the generator. So that's, like I said, first priority. So let's get started. Around the generator site, you'll see that we're in sort of a crater. The world is frozen solid, but fortunately we do have some supplies scattered about, like coal. So let's set a maximum workforce there, and also gather up as much wood as possible. There's also metal about, but that'll kind of be on the back burner from now. Before we get everyone started, I'm also going to have them build a workshop so we can research new technologies, and you'll understand why I needed to gather wood so much after we get started. So let's go. I like setting it to about medium speed, or a fast speed as compared to very fast, because slow speed is kind of a snail's pace. If it's your first time playing it, I do suggest going at normal game speed because it's a lot to learn, it's a lot to take in. But like I said, I've been playing this quite a bit, so we're just going to go with medium. So right here our wood stock is starting to pile up, and our workshop is almost done. As soon as it's built, we're going to employ engineers at it, so you can get started on our technology trees. Our first tab here is heating, steam hubs, which provide an ambient area of warmth, and heaters, which heat a certain locale with warmth. For example, a cookhouse. Next is exploration and industry. Our first tier here is the beacon. That's what we're going to start researching. The beacon is basically a lighthouse. It shows people where we are, lets us see our initial surroundings, and lets our scouts move about the terrain when we get scouts without fear of losing the city. Next tab is our resources. We have steel, wood, coal, and charcoal. We'll be going down the coal path right after steel, and we're going to skip the sawmill and go straight for the wall drill because it provides a lot more wood, and faster gathering might be what we research next. And we also have the food, health, and shelter. Hunter's gear is the first on here, so obviously we'll be doing that first in this tab. I tend to rely on hothouses more than I do the hunters. They provide more, and they provide it throughout the day, where hunters will just provide one mass sum once a day. But, you know, it's all up to your playstyle. Hunters are also very effective. We also have medical posts, upgrades, infirmary, and ways to upgrade them as well. And, of course, houses. Bunk houses are warmer than the tents that we start out with. And houses are warmer than bunk houses, and we can eventually research the house insulation. So let's get going. Alright. We seem to have enough wood to get started on our first few buildings. What I like to do first is build 2 medical posts. We're not going to employ them just yet because we have our engineers employed at one of these wood crate piles. And we need as much wood as we possibly can on this first day. So I'm going to go ahead and fast forward this until we get to... there we go. A word of advice. Workers are needed. There's so much to do and not enough hands to do it. A quick way of addressing this problem is to put our children to work. I could consider signing the child labor law, or I could just shirk this off. Let's look at it. Let's see what it does. I think it's pretty self-explanatory, though. There aren't enough hands to do all the work, so we'll allow children to be employed in safe workplaces, like cookhouses or hothouses. I don't like the thought of children being put to hard labor. I know it says safe jobs, but hothouses is basically farming, and cookhouses, they can burn their little hands, and we don't want them to burn their little hands. But we're going to put these child-centric laws on the back burner for now, because first, we're going to look at this emergency shift. Sometimes we have to concentrate on the task at hand at the cost of everything else, or die. And that's very true. In a harsh world like this, we're going to need that emergency level.
Listen, everyone. New law is signed.
And now that we have around 80 wood, we can go ahead and start building houses, or set up for houses to be built. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And there's just enough room right around here for 2 medical posts and 8 houses. Or tents, rather. And the reason I only did 8 is because each one will hold 10 people, and we only have 80 people for right now. And this right here is on our stockpiles, which holds a small amount of each resource. And what's this? People from our convoy, family torn apart. Sir, a woman came forward after we built the workshop She said that her husband and daughter didn't reach the city with the main group, but she's sure they're still out there. She wants to join the first scout team we send out. She urges you to hurry. Ma'am, we will do what we can. As soon as the beacon is finished researching, we'll build it and see about getting some scouts sent out. Alright, now we're going to shift some priorities over to steel, because we had enough wood to build all of our tents and medical posts. And you'll notice that I kept over 5 engineers, because we're going to fill one of these medical posts right quick as soon as it's built, because people tend to get sick fairly quickly on the first night. Ah, but maybe I'm forgetting something. That's right. The generator. It's not on yet. Let's say we kick this thing off. Work shift's over.
Go rest all who can.
Let's do it. There we go. Let's turn on this temperature display. Yeah, that's much better. Everyone's nice and warm now, or at least livable. The workshop's comfortable though. These tents aren't built yet, so once the shelter's complete, there we go. The generator's at full strength now, so everything should be very comfortable. Let's go ahead and put some engineers in there and kick this into high gear. I'm not going to fill this medical post yet because we just don't have any sick people and we don't need it quite yet. I'm acting like I'm really good at this, but I'm really just experienced in losing a lot. In the hours that I've played, I've probably only won about 10 times, and that's out of about 200 games. So, I'm not counting the bad endings. There are multiple endings, and I've gotten a lot of bad ones. Alright, let's go through the night real quick. Not much happens at night. Not yet, anyways. We're doing fine, all things considered. I agree, Larry Ackworth. At least we're alive. Not everyone's so lucky. Thank you, Christopher. Alright, our beacon is researched. So what we're going to do next is faster gathering. And let's see how much it costs to build the beacon. 21 wood, no, 20 wood and 35 steel, so yeah. We're going to shift priorities a bit here. And we can also pass a new law. Let's look at these. Extended shift. We might not. Not yet, anyways. Let's look at the others. Essentially, that makes the shifts about 4 hours longer, which I'm not particularly a fan of because people will be much more tired and less efficient. Cemetery, that will be essential, but not quite yet. Over here's the health tree for laws. We can sustain life. We can't cure the gravely ill, but we can at least keep them alive. We won't risk dangerous amputations with radical treatment. And the opposite of that is, of course, radical treatment. We'll try everything to cure the gravely ill, from invasive surgery to amputation. Oh my goodness. This one's always a hard choice. I typically go with sustain life because there's ways to save them later on. Alright, let's keep an eye on the steel. Speed her up. Okay, we're getting closer. Slow it down a little bit. Check on this coal pile. These resources are finite, so you have to keep an eye on them because sometimes It'll run out before you know it. Oh, here we go. We'll build this one row back. And this is the sort of thing... Oh, let's go ahead and research some steelworks. This is the sort of thing you have to build a road to get to. That's no problem. Nothing can operate without a road because the pipes that connect to the generator go through them. And nothing can operate without it. And we'll speed back up. Food. The generator hums with reassuring warmth, but we shouldn't take it for granted. If the generator goes down, the city dies. Be mindful of coal reserves. Now food. There will be no city if we starve to death. Secure a way to provide raw food and build a cookhouse to prepare meals. Alright. We should have enough wood to do this after we establish our first scout team. The beacon is built. We're no longer lost and blind. From now on, our people will be able to survey the icy barrens that surround us. Frostland. There we go. Hot air balloon lighthouse. That's a good idea, actually. I think I'm going to build one in my backyard. What do you think? Let me know in the comments if I should build a beacon in my backyard. Think my parents would mind? Probably not. Alright, so now we have a nice view of the beautiful Frostland. Is it Frostland or Frostland? I'm not sure. So, this whole area is the Arctic North. But I think the rest of the world probably looks about like this too. Up here we can recruit some scouts. So let's take some out of one of these wood piles here. Yeah, they can spare a few people. Scouts. Alright. Lost Expedition or Gloomy Cave. Let's go to the Lost Expedition. That's our first priority. I would assume that's where our people are. Okay. And while we're building things, let's build a cookhouse and a hunter's hut. Build a nice road around it. People from our convoy, ready to search. People cheer as the giant observation balloon soars above the city. This is a real feat. Everyone feels proud of the work they've done to make it happen. Volunteers have lined up, eager to go looking out for our lost people in Frostland. The woman who came forward earlier is among them, as expected. We needed this win. I agree, we did need a win. Everyone needs a win every now and then. Right. People from our convoy. With basic resources secured for now, we can try to rescue the people we left behind, build a beacon, scout Frostland, and save as many survivors from our expedition as possible. You'll need a workshop to design plans for more advanced buildings. Hey, I'm 2 steps ahead of you, game. I've been here before. This ain't my first rodeo. I am gonna go ahead and put some people... I'm gonna let time go. I'm gonna go ahead and put a few people to work in the cookhouse, and tomorrow we'll set some people up to be hunters. Because our guy should be back by then. Speed her up. The resources shortage. We're getting short on resources, sir. Our needs are great and growing by the hour. To address this, we can enact a law that will allow us to extend working hours. Well, I'll consider it. I don't like the sound of it, though. Not right now. I'm thinking... Yeah, we'll go ahead and sign it for future purposes. We won't use it right away, though.
Listen, everyone. New law is signed.
My father used to tell us we're lucky to work 10 hours a day. What, 10 hours isn't enough? I suppose in our circumstances. Yes, goodness. Our circumstances are rather dire. Get going, everyone. Waiting.
Work time. Get moving.
The people of our convoy made camp here, too exhausted to go on. We should escort them to the city. Explore. We enter the camp, appearing out of the driven snow. A choir of excited voices welcomes us. Thank God you found us! We had been wandering for days until we couldn't go on any longer. Soon we'd begin to starve. Children and adults surround us, packed up and ready to go. Let's escort the survivors to the city. I don't want to send them out alone. That seems irresponsible. Plus they'll get here a lot faster too. Let's speed up. Okay, wood crates are depleted, so we'll send a few people to be hunters. Essentially how the hunters work is they set traps during the day, and then in the wee hours of the morning they'll leave and go check the traps and come back with the food. Okay, and we'll go ahead and put a few more people in the medical post over here. Yep. What else have we got over here? Let's research that hunter's gear. We need more wood for that. There we go. Before anything, send you out again. We're gonna need them moving almost all the time. Yeah. One of our coal piles is almost depleted, so we'll need to keep an eye out for that. There they are. That's always a beautiful sight. Reunions. It's heartwarming to see families reunited after so many hardships, but shouldn't there be more settlements nearby? The first expeditions left London long ago. They ought to be well established by now. They'll surely help us find our footing. We will look for the others. That's just ominous. That's ominous. Enough to be scary. Search for others. Our people found a trail leading into the wilderness. We should follow it. We must find other people and ask them for help to secure our survival. That's right, we'll need help out here. No doubt. Alright. Keep her going because we need to have wood. Okay. That's depleted. And we'll set you guys to work on that steel. You guys, I'm sorry. You're going on emergency shift. So we just don't have enough wood to house people.
Night is coming. Put down your tools.
Alright. 2, 3, 4. And of course we'll need the wood to build roads. And there we go. And there we go. And another one. Alright. Can sign another law. Now that we have a lot of people, I'm gonna go ahead and sustain some life. Now, this will fill up our medical posts for a bit, but there is a way to counteract that. In the future, at least.
New law in the city.
So it'll be alright. Alright. So they had depleted those wood
Brace
crates.
yourselves. Cold is coming.
So we'll sit you to work on these steel bits. Yeah. Okay. I hope you don't freeze to death on duty too, man.
Work time.
It's getting colder with each day. Sure is. Hunter's gear is researched. Drawing boards. Once we hit 50... gonna repurpose these. Yeah. Set our regular workers to the wood crates. They'll probably be a little bit faster than the engineers. Ah, right on time. Always something to do. Sturdy shelter. The shelter is well supplied and built to withstand even the worst weather. An advanced steam heating system protects it from the cold. Let's see what we find. The trail leads to another city. The shelter is comfortable and well equipped with emergency supplies. There's a notice posted by the heavy round door. To all scientists, if you use any supplies, remember to notify the quartermaster upon your return to the city. This means there's another city out there. A signpost by the trail points in two directions. London, 1,934 miles. Home, 27. We discovered a steel bridge. Let's take some resources and head to the steel bridge. Let's find it. Let's find where those other people are. Oh yeah, this is where a heater will come in handy. Because if the workplace is too cold, it cannot work. But we're going to save that. We got to research these drawing boards first. What's this? Frostbite. One of our people has become gravely ill due to frostbite. This will keep happening if people have to work in the cold. I see. And that's the gravely ill we were talking about earlier. They can't work because their limbs are frozen. Funny how that works, isn't it? Okay.
Gather your tools. The shift is ending.
This is a pretty on par opening. Alright, since we don't want to keep the beds held up, we're going to build a care house. So essentially, the gravely ill and amputees will be moved here, won't consume as much food,
Listen, everyone.
and
New law is signed.
the medical post will have open beds. And right on cue, they've reached the steel bridge. A brass plaque on the bridge reads, built by the people of Winterhome in AD 1887. The bridge is kept completely snow-free by a working automaton. Ooh, an automaton. We've stopped at the edge of a deep, wide ravine, marveling at the steel bridge spanning it. Even more so at the huge automaton sweeping snow from the roadway. It would be possible to send the machine back to our city, or disassemble it for resources. Well, let's send it to the city. It could probably be pretty useful if it kept a bridge clean. We could have it sweep the road. Weather station. Oh, a large convoy. Let's head to the weather station first. Deserted bridge. Finding the bridge to Winterhome proved that we're on the right track, but it raised questions. Why was the bridge deserted? Why wasn't the automaton under the care of an engineer? There are logical explanations to it all, but the people are growing anxious. We'll find out in Winterhome. How is this going on? Less than an hour. Okay. The care house promise is fulfilled. Perfect. Oh goodness. A lot of sick people. There we go. They were just moving them over to the care house. Good. Speed on up through morning. We can keep going like this for a while, I'd say. At least we're alive. Not everyone's so lucky. That's my Henrietta voice. She's a nice woman, but she kind of sounds scary. Alright. Let's get that wall drill researched. Because next to coal and food, I would say that wood is the most important resource. It's kind of like the basis of our whole city. And tomorrow, the temperature will rise. Excellent. We've made it to the weather station. There's nobody in the weather station, but everything seems to be operational. We could try to find out what the scientists from Winterhome are working on. A grim forecast. We found the scientists' notes. They predict that the Great Cold is going to get much worse. What's more troubling is that the observations ended abruptly months ago. There's also not a can of Spam, not even a crumb of bread left in the pantry. It's obvious to me that they've moved out for good. We can see the city from Winterhome from the roof of the weather station. Take resources. Now before we go to Winterhome, I say we head to the coal mine, then double back to give them some rest. And by then we might have another scout team to send out with them. In the recent report from the weather station has got people talking. They're frightened that such an important facility was apparently abandoned. Some are starting to wonder whether the evacuation from London was a good idea. A few are lamenting openly. I knew we shouldn't have come. At least London had real houses, not tents and wooden shacks. Don't worry, we'll have our answer soon enough. Now's not the time for speculation. Yeah, our resources are starting to run thin. I say we go ahead and build a steelworks, though. No, that was a bad idea. Head back. I forgot that we'll need a road to get to the oh, what's that? Oh yeah, the temperature's rising again. That's a good feeling. See how everyone feels. Yeah, the people around the generator are in livable conditions, but these guys are chilly. That means it's easier for them to get sick. Alright, let's check on these guys at the coal mine. The coal mine is automated. Its engine is pressurized, but the mining has stopped. The snow around it is untrodden, and an eerie silence hangs in the air. More coal than we can use. This coal mine was in operation until very recently. The machinery isn't running now, but there doesn't seem to be anything wrong with it. Perhaps the mine simply extracted its quota or filled the loading bay. We could retrieve plenty of raw materials if we took the machine apart. Take the stored coal, leave the mine for later, or dismantle the machines for resources. I say we dismantle the machines. I don't foresee us coming back. That might not have been the right decision, but it should be okay. Should be fine. Alright. Y'all finish researching that wall drill so we can... There we go. Now the real fun begins. This is where the fun begins. My problem with this game is I'm forced by myself to operate under the standard of aesthetic. So a lot of the time I'm like, no, I can't put a road there. Gotta put a road here. A word of advice: steam cores. We have just used our first steam core. Steam cores are a necessary component in advanced technology. We can't manufacture steam cores in the city, so let's hope that our scouts find them during their expeditions. I see. That was our only one. That's it. No more. Hope we use it on the right thing. Another law is ready. It shall be signed today. That's a very frivolous way of looking at this. Extra rations for the ill. We can feed sick people extra rations to help with their recovery. I can dig it. The other option is overcrowding, and that's just barbaric. We're civilized folk here. A note of thanks. Someone has left a note at the care house. It reads, "Thank you. With all the work we have to do, it's so hard for families to properly care for an invalid. Places like this make life a little easier for us all. Well, I'm glad I could help. Thanks for raising hope slightly, whoever you were." Alright, you guys should be almost done here. And it looks like our our big automaton will reach here just in time to use it, too. Oh. Cold homes. Well, let's heat some homes. Heat all homes. I don't want to address this right now. Captain, some of our people are concerned about the low temperature in their homes. They quite sensibly point out that it's easy to fall ill when it's cold, and ask you to address the problem. Well, let's heat some homes. We can build a steam hub. No. Yeah. And then put a steam hub right here. Our care house will be in range. These guys will be chilly though, so sorry guys. Alright, get that thing built. Word of advice. The wisdom of the crowd. Captain, when facing demands, remember this. People usually look for the quickest solution, not the best one. You don't have to agree to everything they ask for. If you fix the problem your way, it's fine. Yeah, thank you. I'll bear that in mind. And I couldn't agree more. Everyone, leave me alone. Hey, there he is. I say we name this and we go for a break. How's that sound to you guys? I kind of like how it looks like a locomotive. Where are you? There you are. He arrives out of the ice. Our first automaton is operational. This will greatly help our economy. Automatons can replace entire manual labor crews. They work around the clock with short breaks to refuel at the generator. We can research upgrades to raise their efficiency and capability. It doesn't seem that they have a downside, does it? I see. Where'd you go? Did you just keep working? I see. I say we put you to work at the wall drill. That way we'll have wood. Oh, there you are. Hello, Dolly. Can we name you? The Ruby Bostoner. Let's rename it to the Spash Innate Tour 5000. There we go. That's a good name. I don't know what we'll name the next one. We'll figure it out. Heaters. We already had 10 wood just from like it arriving. That's amazing. I do wish the camera was a little bit, I don't know, I wish it let me zoom in just a tad bit more. Because I would really like to watch it operate. That's cool looking. Look at it go. Chugga 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 chugga. It's been 2 hours and we're already up by so much wood. Let's go ahead and build another workshop to employ our other guys, and then we'll build a medical post. We put that in the wrong spot. Oh well. I say we like you guys had something to do with it. Sorry. The scouts have returned to the city. You can disband them at the beacon or send them back into Frostland. And I think that is a good time for us to stop for now. We'll be back in the next episode where we figure out what happened to Winterhome. Have a great day. Drink 8 glasses of water. And remember, the Grand Puubah loves you.